Hello, friends and bees, and friends who are also bees. Be glad to know that Modulbot is working and I didn't have to rush and panic and fix it as we open stream and I realised it's not posting. Hello folks and welcome to this week's Destiny 2 stream. This week, as the title says, we are going to be exploring Season of the Splicer. I have not explored this at all, it's all completely new. I actually muted the Destiny spoilers chat in one of the discords that I'm in so I would be completely unspoiled. So this is all like when I say first playthrough, I mean first playthrough. Also, as usual at the moment, I'm going to try and go for the full 3 hours, but I may wind up stopping early just because A, warm, and B, I do have an assignment due tonight that I am about a quarter of the way through. So, wish me luck, lads. But let's swap over to the gameplay. Also, dying. Look. Turn my light on a bit better. God, I'm so warm and blonde. There you go. I got my hair re-bleached the other day. At some point I'm going to dye my roots a bit darker, but I don't know when that's going to be. Let's hop in, shall we? I've apparently inhaled a crumb, which is why I keep coughing.
This morning, for the first time in humanity's long and storied history, the sun did not rise. Osiris tells me it's a Vex simulation that has plunged the city into an endless night. It seems they have found a way to harness our energy against us, and even in all his wisdom, Osiris can offer no solution. I don't know what will happen if we can't break the Vex's hold over the city. I do know that we must protect our people, no matter the cost. The Vex are machines, and no one understands machines better than the Elixni. Osiris and I can only think of one we might turn to. Mithrax, Kell of House Light. My spies report he claims to be among the last sacred splicers, those with the power to commune with machines. He may be our best and only hope. Find him, Guardian, before the Vex do.
That's the plan, I chorus down. Bridge says hello. Here we are. Let me, once I've loaded in, I will turn the volume up because it is incredibly quiet. I turned it down because I was listening to a
It's been a long time, Guardian. My hidden report that Mithrax was last seen on Europa, helping Varix evacuate Elixni defectors. Both the Vex and Aramis's loyalists are down there hunting for survivors, shooting anything that moves. Be sure to shoot back. We need Mithrax alive if he's to help us with our Vex problem.
Okay, but what if I want to go pick up some bounties first? Whatever. It's fine. Itchy. Right. Weapon settings. Sound. Turn this bitch way the fuck up. There we go. Ooh, I like this.
You're closing in on some residual signals. It could be Elixni bound for House Light. Or it could be more of Aramis's loyalists. Clear the Vex and introduce yourself to the survivors. Make it known you're not a threat. Unless you need to be.
Okay. Let's take a look at our challenges, actually. Okay, whatever. Speak to the Splicer Servitor, defeat powerful Cabal, complete override missions, deposit data spikes, collect ether, sidearms and override, fuck about Europa, weekly playlist challenges, SMGs and swords on Europa, explosives and strikes. Right, in that case, let us swap to a sword and this, I think, is trusty combo. Oh, hang on, where am I? Just say I'll go pick up some Europa bounties while I'm here, but no can do. Let's go. There we go. Oh, into the hole, as it were.
Empty. The Elixir cleared out before the Vex showed up. See if you can learn where they're headed.
I'm so glad Ikora's back and like speaking to us again.
Over their positions. Trigger, message repeat. This is Misrax. To those who renounce the violence of House Salvation and seek refuge in the House of Light. I will be landing a skiff near Asterian Abyss. Bring only what you need. We must prioritize survivors over their positions. Trigger, message repeat.
Asterian Abyss. That's their rendezvous point. A single skiff recently touched down near your position. It's got to be Mithrax.
Yep.
Hurry, Guardian.
I can see
When
it.
takes off.
Ah, I'm not supposed to just jump over the edge there. I see. Oh shit, I forgot. I need to... Sorry for the bridge. I need to get the season pass. Look, right, let me not do that actually. Let me do this. Hello, I would like some silver. How much silver do I need? Whoa, okay. Let me tab back in when I'm not getting shot by Vex. Don't need a season pass, I just prefer to have it. Okay, how much silver do I need? Oops, there we go. Okay, but how much? Should have done this before, but I wasn't paying attention because I'm a fool. Oh, I know, there's a better way to do this. I think. Oh God, I'm a fool. Okay, right. Silver. 13 squids. Shit, do I have money to cover that? Yes, I do. Okay. Steam says, thank you. I say... I'm sorry that I did that midstream, it's because I'm an idiot. Right, now hopefully that will come through in a minute or two. I'll probably get a notification about it, I guess.
Mithrax is wrapped up in
I feel like at the start of every season I go, oh yeah, I need to buy the season pass and forget.
But he and his House of Light still worship the Traveler. That heat signature. Flames. Someone brought down the skiff.
They sure did.
Secure the crash site and assist the survivors. If there are
Hello, Polyhex. Absolutely no worries. I spent the beginning of this stream getting the season pass anyway, so I hope your farms are going well. What? A dick, my dude. Very smooth, just fall off. It's fine.
the Vex took
How are
down
you,
the
Polyhex?
ship
I
and
hope you're
ambushed
doing
the
well.
undisputed vectors. There are bodies in the snow. Nothing can be done for them now. Mithrax must have let a few survivors out, but they're completely exposed. Eyes up.
Shit.
Move.
What? Move where? Ooh, nice. That's good. I have literally just started this season. I have not had a chance to play this game since last Sunday. No, since last Monday actually. So
Spikes ahead. Be ready for anything.
what I'm ready for is not being able to see anything. Oh no. Babies.
The Guardian is almost here. Stay down. Stay quiet.
How do you know we can trust them?
I don't. What the light provides.
Ooh, nice. Babies. Excellent. He does. I really like that new gear.
I find you in the light. And on your
Hi.
signal. I call a ray.
You took my
Mithrax Cal, it is an honor. We've been searching for you for some time.
This is known. You are not the only one with hidden eyes. Many enemies pursue my house of light. We did not wish to be found.
Then times are desperate for us both. The Vanguard seeks your assistance.
I am aware. Vex systems pulse with talk of the city's endless night.
I apologise for the
But my people
honks.
demand much
Right.
protection. If this Guardian could assist me in blinding the Vex here, we can speak without risking more bloodshed.
Blinding the Vex. My Guardian will do whatever you need.
I have opened the door for you, Guardian. Will you?
Ooh.
Did you send them into a Vex simulation?
Yes, I will throw myself
For them is no illusion.
head first.
The Guardian ventures through the Vex domain itself, where the machines guard their most precious secrets.
Love this music. Let me turn that back up.
I will clear the way.
Sorry, I don't know what's... Hang on, I have to alt tab and back in. Oh, okay, well. There we go. Computer was freaking out for a second.
Free to space,
It's so beautiful.
but our most skilled splicers can even perceive. The light shines strong within you.
Sure does. That's what I'm here for. Marcos like subtly signs strong in them, but I'm not sure if it's the light. Could just be a lack of common sense. It's fine. Yeah, I'm sure I've mentioned it before. Just over that way is a drawbridge for boats, as opposed to drawbridge for other things. And it honks very loudly when a boat's coming through to let everybody know that it's about to shut, which is important and valid, but also extremely loud, especially when it is way too warm to like not have your window open.
Hold fast, Guardian.
Whoops.
I will alter the fabric of this system to aid you.
Instructions unclear, self fallen off edge. So much fun. You know, it's a good method. Make sure that everybody knows that something's happening. I was in, this is the semester before last, I think, in like a sort of discussion. Oh, well, that's not what I intended to do, but here we go. Like seminar type class where very often I'd be speaking and the bridge would start honking. I'd be like, oh, I'm so sorry, it's, you know, just outside. And then one of my classmates was like, you in insert apartment block here? And I'm like, yep, sure am. And she goes, oh yeah, I recognise the bridge sound. So I think everybody who lives in this area of the city must, to be honest. Okay. What? Oh, it's because I'm standing in Beck's milk.
You are farther than I have ever been. Find the Vex Curator, destroy it, and claim the living code woven through its core.
You've got it. Why did Pretzel start playing again? I don't know. I forgot I got that thing that when I put it does ice when I put stuff down. Run away? God, this place is so pretty. Huh? Oh, that's non-ideal. Okay, that was a mistake. So bright. Can't take damage, sick. Running and yelling. that time. It's like playing Andromeda when you have to get out of the temples, and it's like, yep, just run very quickly.
The power works against me, pushing back. This is troubling.
Sure is. You can see that thing. I don't really trust it. Oh, it's alright. It's oh, no.
The system is collapsing. Hold strong. I will create another exit.
Rip. Well, thank you, because I jumped straight off the edge there like an idiot.
Are dissipating from your region. They're leaving.
Yes. With the core you hold, the secrets of the Vex reveal themselves to us. To study such an artifact would benefit us both. But there is no time. My people must move on if we hope to survive.
Mithrax, I saw those who wished to join you dead in the snow. Let them be the last to fall. Come, shelter in our city. You and your people.
I call her Cal. Can you offer the Elixni such a thing?
I just did. You'll be under the Vanguard's protection. The Vex are the enemy here, and any Lightbearer who disagrees can take it up with me.
Then we accept. With light in our hearts, we will join you in your city.
Nice.
Beneath the Traveler.
I have this feeling that eventually we are going to be Guardian/Humanity and Cabal, or at least Kyatil's Cabal, and House of Light, another like friendly house, Fallen, or Elixni I should say, versus I think Vex and Hive and Taken. I think it's going to be ooh, pretty. Yes, ruins. I love to explore ruins.
My people shelter beneath the great machine.
That's I feel that in my bones.
This is beyond simple generosity. I must thank Ikora for her gift.
This sanctuary is not granted by Ikora alone, but by all who live in the last city.
Yes, and on their behalf, let me extend a welcome. I'm Osiris, and this is Lakshmi too, future War Court leader and city representative.
My greatest appreciations to you both. The House of Light thanks you.
Your house can best show gratitude by keeping to itself. I know your assistance with the Vex will benefit us all, but not everyone in the city is so open-minded. You appear to be settling in. I will leave you to it.
If you require further help from us, you must only ask.
I shall. There are several modifications we will need for stable ether production.
Submit a proposal to Ikora. She seems willing to get you anything you need. I must return to the people in the city. Future War Court has foreseen great misery for them in the days ahead, and they will need an advocate. I often forget how highly those in the tower have placed themselves. The air is thin there. Best not to breathe too much of it.
You must understand this situation is tense for us all. This encampment perches on the edge of decree and democracy. I hope your stay with us will be uneventful.
As do I.
God, so do I. Right, exactly. I keep thinking this, but what the hell accent is Osiris supposed to have? He has like a mid-Atlantic accent, but in the sense of like sometimes sounding American and sometimes sounding British. Unlike, for example, my mum, who has a mid-Atlantic accent, in that she sounds neither American nor British, but a combination of both. So British people can tell she's not, you know, born and raised in England, but Americans don't necessarily believe that she's. I guess so. If it's the actor's natural accent, then like whatever. I mean, I definitely have some words that I sort of pronounce more American than others, but if it's supposed to be like a specific accent, I cannot for the life of me work out what it is. Location updated: the Helm. Mithrax has asked you to speak with the Splicer servitor in the Elixir Newing the Helm, which has been relocated to the director and can now be found above the tower on the main director screen. Nice. Hi. I want to pop up here and just like have a look around, you know? Babies.
Elixir houses are more than tribes for sharing work and resources.
Oh,
They
goodness.
also represent living philosophies. In many ways, the House of Light is traditional.
Move
We
that she's
worship
actually
the
looking at me.
great machine, and we embrace ancestral roles like splicers and scribes. But in other ways, we're different. My father, Mithrax, is Kel of our house, but he does not act as past Kels. He does not take more than his share of ether, and he does not punish by docking limbs. These are radical, but popular ideas in our house. However, Mithrax Kel also believes in peace and cooperation with humanity. This is less popular. Everyone in our house has seen Elixir killed by guardians. Not just warriors, but innocents and hatchlings.
Like,
I
valid.
lived for many years among the Awoken, and understand that humans do good things as well. Sometimes. But the others in the House of Light have not been so lucky in their allies as I have. It will take time to earn their trust.
I just, like, that's so valid, all of it. And also, I feel like very much represents both of our parties, you know, both the people of the city and the tower and the Fallen, both, the Elixir rather, are sort of thinking neither of us can necessarily trust each other, which sucks but makes sense. And, like, I can't blame them for not trusting Guardians, you know. If it were me, I don't know if I would trust Guardians.
Humans think of ether as food for Elixir, a form of sustenance. That's only partially true. Ether also catalyzes physical maturation and promotes molting. In that sense, it's like hormones in human adolescence. In a world of unlimited ether, like Rees before the whirlwind, all Elixir look like captains. That's our final form. Most Elixir you see now are underdeveloped. They're forever stunted by ether rationing, which began as a necessity and gradually evolved into a mechanism of social control. Now, ruthless leaders like Spider use the distribution of ether to keep their followers dependent. If Elixir are ever to live in peace, we must make ether available to all, regardless of rank.
Valid. I'm going to look at all of these things because I'm interested.
Some Elixir tell hatchlings that these wards keep guardians from attacking us in our sleep. We know this is not true, of course, but it helps hatchlings to rest peacefully. Soon enough, they must learn that the guardians cannot be stopped by such things. That they cannot be stopped at all, even by death. After that, the ward changes meanings. For grown Elixir, it's a reminder that the great machine blesses life givers and killers alike. But now that we have seen the Guardians among their own people, taking orders and making awkward small talk, I don't think this tradition will continue in the House of Light. We no longer see Guardians as monsters, just people, frightened and misguided.
Exactly. And that's yeah, exactly. And it's like I mean, I feel like it's been confirmed in game, but even if it hasn't, it's not beyond the realms of belief to assume that there are, you know, guardians out there who are just bloodthirsty killers and are just in it for the violence and the killing, and that's, you know, that's all they care about. And it's just both this and the conflict with the Cabal, I feel like I'm really liking it. Let me put it that way. I'm really enjoying it. I think it's an important when you like. I think it's an important message. Let me put it that way. And to me, so far, it feels like they're doing a pretty good job of like tackling it. Last season was so good. I enjoyed it so much, and part of the reason I enjoyed it was because it felt like they were actually tackling the story really well and sort of almost explaining, you know, it wasn't just like Keator's here and she wants to be in charge because she wants to be in charge. It's like, no, she's here because she wants to fight back against the Hive, and she wants to be in charge of us because that's how she understands power structures. And then, you know, we say, actually, we're allies, we will work with you, but neither one of us is underneath the other person, we work together. Which is what I hope is going to happen with Mithrax and the other Elixni, because...
Many Elixni spend their whole lives on ships. They become more than a home. They're like a member of the family. Mithrax found me in the vent of a wrecked ship, you know. We joke that my father is a Splicer and my mother is a Ketch. After the fall of our homeworld Reese, Elixni scattered across the stars. Having lost our grounding, Ketches evolved from modes of transportation into permanent homes. Even after Elixni began to resettle in places like the reef, we never lost our reverence for the machines that kept us alive. Now, after so much wandering, it's hard to believe that there's real ground beneath us and a real sky above.
It's just really sad, you know, in my opinion at least. Like, I guess almost like that this is what they've been, I don't want to say what they've been reduced to, but it's a horrible thing to happen to anyone, let us put it that way. And
Here lies the remnants of Kel's Scourge, a dark period in Elixni history.
nice.
After the whirlwind, many Elixni were overcome by feelings of hopelessness. They were homeless, hungry, and hunted by guardians and hive alike. So when Civics founded Kel's Scourge, promising to return Elixni to power with ancient weaponry, many were drawn to his call. Though the Scourge claimed to
I never
fight
did the
for
raid,
Elixni
so
empowerment,
nice.
in reality, they represented the final degradation of our culture. A once great interstellar civilization was reduced to an anarchist mob, led by a power-hungry coward. Let ours be a cautionary tale. No matter how enlightened a culture, there are always those who prey on our worst impulses for their own gain.
Sure are. What I was thinking was, so, mixed with small phone there, cute. So in Final Fantasy XIV, my other MMO, there is brief spoilers, so for the next expansion, so I will try and keep it quick. Basically, there is a city-state called Sharlayan, which is a sort of House of Wisdom. It's a House of Wisdom, that's what it is. And despite being quite powerful, they have a non-intervention policy in the walls of the rest of the realm. And that non-intervention policy is bad, ethically, I would say. And so this is the spoiler bit. So this is spoilers. The jazz hands of spoilers in Endwalker. Part of what we're doing is we're going to Charlian and probably, hopefully, talking them into helping us. But anyway, my point is that, yeah, it is. Well, to me, it seems like it's meant to be inspired by like Greco-Roman architecture, which is part of why I've decided I want to live there IRL. But I'm not entirely sure. But just the reason that I thought of Charlian is because if you think of the idea of like, say humanity, say the Elixni and humanity, we had our chronological positions swapped. No, that's not the way I don't know how to word this. I was thinking a lot about Charlian and the idea of like isolationism and non-intervention, and almost saying like, that's your problem and you can deal with it. Which I got strong opinions, let me put it that way. I'm gonna keep wandering around.
Hello, my name is Ido. My father is Mizrax, Kel of our house. I took my name from his first awoken friend, Sierra Ido. As scribe for the House of Light, it's my job to preserve our house's history, so that hatchlings may one day learn our stories. Mizrax Kel requested that I leave some records for the humans of the last city, so they might learn about Elixni culture in their own time. As he says, inside a catch, everyone breathes the same air. Though I have doubts that the humans will care to hear our stories, the snipers who look down on us do not seem like the curious types. But the Great Machine has chosen them, so I must give them the benefit of my faith. Hopefully this effort does not go wasted.
I know.
During our golden age, the Elixni civilization spanned many star systems, farther than humanity could imagine. And in all of our exploration, we never found anything more wondrous than the Great Machine. It's one of the few things that all Elixni houses can agree on. That's why shrines like these are made of many small pieces. Each bit was added by a different house. It's a tradition that lasted generations. Most of those houses are now extinct, and their members are scattered. It's funny. I revered the Great Machine all my life, without ever having seen it. And now that it's right overhead, I still look to this shrine for comfort.
I mean, valid at the moment, given that it's turned off. Right, I'm sure there are other records that I haven't found, but I will look for them in my own time, I think. Oh my god. Itch me. Oh, so many things. Your friend and I, the Umbral Dakota. Crow's just hanging out there doing his thing. There you go. Can we track? Wow, we still can't track. I really want to be able to track challenges. By the by. Sorry, I've got... Ouch. No, hang on. I'm a fool and an idiot. Teleported straight back to where I am. Oh, no. I mean, I am an idiot, but... it's because I wasn't thinking. So I've got, like, micro cuts, as in the Muse song, me between my fingers, and they're very painful. Also, complete aside, the music in the Elixir Quarter, really fucking good. I'm a fan of that. I'm a fan of all music that Destiny has to offer. It's always brilliant. Let's see, has my season pass arrived yet? It sure hasn't. Why not? I have to close the game and reopen it, or... I may do, tell you what, I'm going to do that relatively quickly. I'm not actually AFK, it's just so that, I'm really glad we can access the helm, from, new purchase history. In my library. Let's open Destiny again. I definitely bought it, so I do have the season pass. I'm not sure if it's... This week at Bungie we started splicing. Asterisk NBSP semicolon asterisk NBSP semicolon. Not sure what that's meant to represent, but there we go. I love this loading music. Amongst the many other things that I like about Destiny's music, I am a really big fan of that, like, motif, the evil motif, for lack of a better phrase, that we get there. Don't look at my alts that I never played on. New stasis powers and exotic armor. See, new leggies. Armor synthesis is here. Okay, for some reason I didn't get that the first time round. Has my season pass arrived? No. Did I accidentally... Oh, I see why. It's because I misunderstood. I think. There we go. Look at this. There are things colder than cold. She crouched behind a sandstone boulder in the canyon basin and I desperately tried to focus. She clasped her lower hands together and squeezed. The feeling of pressure grounded her, made it possible to ignore the blood that flowed from the wound in her thorax. She could hear Vex coming closer, their metal feet screeching against stone. She raised a dominant hand, and the thin spindles of the Splicer gauntlet clacked into place and began to spin. She envisioned the light surrounding. She winced as weapons... Sorry, I'm distracted because I can hear crow in the back of my headphones. Winced as weapons fire impacted the boulder at her back. Turned to split apart, and for a moment, through the hot glowing sand and choking dust, she faced down an army. She closed her eyes. She saw the Vex targeting field sweep over her, flashing crimson and white. She shifted it with a wave of her hand, and 100 shots flew wide. She felt dozens of Vex-shaped gaps appear in the air behind her and consolidated them. The Vex materialized in the same location, and the fused metal mass fell heavily to the ground. She looked over the gleaming field of enemies. The light provides, she thought, and the next volley of Vex fire curved around her. The gauntlet on her wrist thrummed as a small portal opened the air in front of her. She reached inside, felt the familiar shape of a short-term cortical conflicts loop, and visualized crushing it in her hand. A flash of light played over the red eyepieces of the Vex, and they marched forward in lockstep, searching for a target they could not see. She stepped to the side as they passed her. As the last Minotaur stepped out the canyon, she reached again into the portal. She willed the knowledge of Miss Rex to their fingertips. She saw an image of her skiff, flying low over the ice, framed in the minds of the European Vex. She pictured their awareness as a glass plane and envisioned it cracking, splintering into fragments of... Inside the portal, dark threads wrapped around her wrist. She visualized them snapping as she struggled to withdraw her hand, but they stuck to her like pitch. She saw them crumbling under harsh light, but the dust wet itself with her blood and dried around her hand. She saw the light, but all she felt was the cold dark, freezing around her, holding her fast. In the distance, the Vex turned as one. Woof. Wow. Going to use up my upgrade modules. Right. Words difficult. Brain empty. Get distracted, look at the store. Not what I intended to do. I wanted to go see if Pro has anything to say. Nope, absolutely nothing. Cool. Oh well. I like that. Neon flag, I want one. So I know you said speak to the person, but what you really meant was look around in absolute awe and interest, right?
Can't say I'm enjoying lying low, Commander. Reminds me of the old days. But, hey, I'm nothing if not good at following orders. If it was my choice, I'd be there helping you get the Elixni settled in the city. Might be hard to believe, but they're more like us than you think. Just give them a chance, like you did for me. Alask. That's how they say hello. Just so you know.
So easily distracted. Right, let's actually do the thing, huh? An alert sounds from the servitor as you approach. On a small view screen, a wireframe image of a cube appears. An access port slides open and the cube changes to a single word. Analyze. You take the cube of living code you claimed from the Vex on Europa and hold it in your palm. Its corners and edges move, reforming endlessly in your hand. You place it into the servitor. The servitor scans the cube with a field of soft light for several moments, then emits a chime and the text changes. Stable. A pictogram suggests the cube is somehow still connected to the Vex nexus. Mithrax will be able to study its secrets, and just by holding it, you are able to access certain permissions from the deep Vex networks. The readout changes once more. Utilize. You nod as you claim the Palindrome cube.
Guardian, I greet you in the light. It is I, Mithrax, or Mithrax, as your people say. I speak to you through a servitor we liberated from the House of Salvation. It fuels our camp now, turning raw matter into the ether we need to survive. I will use it to study the Paradrome cube you recovered from the Vex. In this way, it will provide for us both. We are settling into your city. You may have seen the work of the House of Light scribe Ido, my daughter. She has been creating a chronicle of our journey. But there will be time for that later. great scholars and warriors. Ikora, Osiris, Lakshmi too, even the Saint. They have agreed to aid in your fight against the machines, and I will be your guide. I am a sacred Splicer, one who can touch the light rippling through the Vex networks. For the light is all. The wind through the grass, and the motion of galaxies. In this way, I can see into the Vex domain. But your abilities might grow beyond mine. I have prepared something for you. A Splicer gauntlet. The first made for a non-elixir. The ether it pulls from defeated foes will let you override the Vex signals. Push back and enter the machine domain as you did on Europa. Bring me data from within, and together we will discover its secrets. Fight bravely. Free your people from this endless night.
Mithrak speaks to you through the Salto Splicer that is House of Light liberated from Aramis's House Salvation. He explains that he is a sacred Splicer, one specially trying to interface with the light threaded through the Vex network. He is so impressed with your mastery of the light that he gives you a custom-made Splicer gauntlet to help you focus your own abilities. He is willing to guide you on your journey to become a sacred Splicer, while Ikora, Osiris, Lakshmi II and Saint 14 assist when they are able. He asks that you bring him Vex data so he can begin to decode the mysterious paradrome cube you claimed from the Vex on Europa. He believes it will reveal how to lift the oppressive simulation that hangs over the city. Fight bravely, he says. Free your people from the endless night. Sick. Okay, so it works basically the same as before. Contents with finishes, was it data modes, Vex for civilians. Yes, I remember that. Thank you for pointing that out. As soon as you mentioned it, I remembered the reading the reference to the history. But I cannot blame them for being terrified. In the case of my Warlock, because I never played Destiny 1 and the only knowledge I have of it is from like lore videos and shit like that, I decided for all of my Warlocks res around the start of the Red War. I said all of my Warlocks. I meant to say all of my Guardians. Warlock especially res like basically at the start of the Red War and was thrown straight into it. I was like, what? Because they'd just been hanging out doing research for ages and they're like, huh? Fucking pardon? So, let me take a look-see at this. Cool. Okay, so I was guessing functions similar did before. So, use it to craft a key code. Using Vex. Override missions via the destination hub in your director. Okie doke, but first. Okay. Oh no, come on, monitor, don't turn off now. I'm gonna pop into the tower first because I have some quests to pick up and some things to do. I'm also going to open up Twitch on my phone. Bitcoin price drops. What a surprise. Okay. Because I chat only. There we go. While my monitor dies, this is what I must do. The law, they're very clear. Yeah.
Gonna need someone to shut off the power.
That, like, it makes sense. I guess in my case it's more that, like, I... F. Okay. Whatever. Words are so difficult. I decided for myself specifically that my guardians were rezzed, yeah, at the start of the Red War, or certainly after the events of Destiny 1, at some point in between. So they might, like, know about previous events from having heard of them or read of them. Like, a lot of the times people refer to stuff and Warlock is like, what? And
Just got that working too.
very often Ghost has to explain things to
How many times I gotta tell you? This one goes here, that one goes there.
sorry, I can't. I'm going to eat these two because I just don't use them. Yes, I love it. I had a period a while back where all I was thinking about, all I was reading all the time was Destiny lore. Good stuff. Oh, this thing's a mess. There's an old saying, if you walk long enough, you'll find yourself. Trick is, this furrow, you gotta find yourself before someone else does, because the only company the shore offers is bad company. Outlaws and enemies hide around every bend, stalk every rock, every crack. Even allies, them closest you call kin. Out here, where the only law is survival, loyalties can shift with the breeze, bonds can break, and trust is a lie easily dismissed when the tables turn and the bad times roll. So walk wary and stay ever alert. Should you find yourself out there, have one in the chamber and a steady aim, because chances are you won't like what you see. Ship 2. Keep them in. See
I am glad to see birds still nest.
Okay.
You will face many foes.
I should unlock trials at some point, I just can't face doing it right now. Let's go do some other things. Yeah, what I meant to say and then completely spaced out on was I really love the lore of this game. I love all of the different stories and everything. It makes me very happy. So. It's good stuff. Inject it directly into my veins, as you said.
What cipher is this?
Okay. And
Sure, let's get started.
Banshee 44 waves you over. Got something interesting cooking up back there, he says. Experimental tech. It'll be a little hard to handle. While I'm working on it, go make a name for yourself in the field. I want them to wonder where you get your guns. Head into Strikes and Crucible and the other one the Snake guy runs. He seems lost in thought for a moment. What's it called? Gamble? Anyway, go in there and make a name for yourself, he says. Then, when they see you carrying that new piece, they'll know I don't hand them out to just anybody. Folks are saying Ada One's back? Don't remember her leaving, Banshee grumbles. His eyes narrow, but he doesn't stop preparing the auto rifle on his desk. Come to think of it, I didn't see her for a while. Anyway, I hear she's asking Guardians for help. Got some new project in the works, something about programmable matter in Europa. The Fallen too. Hard to keep the details straight, but I'm glad she's keeping busy. The servos in his hand work quietly as he works on the weapon. Maybe pay her a visit? Whatever she's making, I'm sure it's worth your time. She's always been a special talent. Overhear Banshee talking to himself as you approach. Never saw a gun like that before, he says quietly. Thing will go cold in your hands. Nothing good can come from a piece like that. Hey Guardian, he says as he notices you. Do me a favour. You ever find a sidearm that runs cold? You be sure to keep this catalyst far away from it, you hear? He holds up a damaged sidearm catalyst. Of course, things busted pretty bad now. I need plenty of calibration data to get it up and running again. Get me some, would you? Love that. Don't like don't put these two things together. Guardian absolutely looks around, puts things together. Fusion rifles, swords, void weapons. Cool. Right. Is there anything else we're doing? We'll go talk to Ada and then actually like do some story, I guess. I guess it's something we should do. I'm pretty like attached to my armor, so and when I say attached to this armor, what I really mean is I'm absolutely attached to this robe. I love it. I constantly diddle between it being
Forge statuses are unclear. They could have been stripped for parts. Before I opened my doors to Guardians, I watched you thrash through your collective existence. Loss never so much as hindered your destructive stride. The Red War, a vanguard's death, mere hiccups.
valid.
Back then, I judged you as callous. I assumed it was easy for you to rebuild, because your condition makes you incapable of caring about anything ephemeral. Now, I find myself in a dark hour, and I must admit I am envious of your tenacity. The Black Armory was founded to stand against the coming shadow. But when the darkness returned and our defenses faltered,
I love the
my
ceramic in
work
her armor.
made no difference.
Looks so cool.
Humanity's focus shifted to the stars, and now the forges are gone. If I hope to maintain the Armory's legacy, it's clear I must build something new. The fallen refugees who fled Europa tell of some unfinished Braytech research on matter programming. I believe it could be a new start for the Armory. I've used the Vanguard network to download as much as I can. But some branches can't be accessed remotely, and Europa remains a dangerous front for the Lightless. I need you to enter the Braytech facilities and download the data manually.
Ada tells you that the Black Armory forges have been lost. In their absence, she's working on a new project, some unfinished research she unearthed in the Braytech archives on Europa. She says she needs help retrieving the last remaining research data from Europa's surface, as it's not accessible via the network. Travel to the Braytech facility on Europa and recover the data. Cool. Okay.
See you next time, perhaps.
Right. Let's actually take a look at all of our various things. Right. God. It's gone. So let's marvelous disintegrations of solar damage. Additional progress for defeating targets with a status subclass. Like that. I want you to know I'm working just as hard back here in the tower.
Without the forges, no, I cannot despair.
Right. Let's go do some. Let's get distracted. Friends. They are friends. Let's go actually do some story instead of standing here staring in absolute distraction as I currently am doing. We've got Overload and Barrier Champions. I've got my almost taken out a bunch of my load more to go. I'm wearing gloves. Okay, well, whatever. I'm gonna be useless this time around. I know, it's so cute. The reason I keep leaning over like this to look at something, by the way, is because I'm looking at my phone. I don't care about flat newsletters. I'll be useless to champions, but...
battle makes my trigger finger itch. Watch your back, Guardian.
Got it.
Your foot in that door and secure the data.
I'm the confused cat. Keep accidentally what? Oh, I see, it's like that bit. Okay, never mind. I see. Please don't laugh at me. I don't know how to use sidearms. Oh, rude. In a second. Look, I need to do finishers, that's what I need. 2. Come on, deposit data. Deposit, you fool. It's very, reminds me of, what is it called? You know, the thing. Nope. Okay.
Judging by Vex's response, your fancy Splicer glove is working. Keep at it.
Got it. Ow.
They're trying to fix their broken code. Deal with the Vex, but keep one eye on the terminal.
I've got, words. That's what I've not got.
The Vex security cycles. Each circuit grows more desperate. Vortex resists manifestation. A final surge of data will force it into being.
Oh, bridge time, lads. Whoops. Love to see it. Let's stop standing in Vex milk, me.
Countermeasures income. Turn them back to scrap.
Sorry, I'm not checking chat at the moment because I am distracted.
The vortex is almost manifest. The subjugated mind will soon be revealed.
Okay. Extremely honestly, I don't really understand what's going on, but there we go.
This must be the vortex. Enter before it closes.
Okay.
You are beyond our reach now, Guardian. Stay alert to any trick or traps.
I doubt that, but you know.
Be employed by the fallen.
Okay, right. Got distracted there for a second, trying to bridge. In case anyone was wondering. Just like by the by. Fuck. I'll put his name is Ouch. God, this place is so cool looking.
Crush their last defense to complete the splice. We have other networks to collapse.
Okay. I shall have to read a guide after this to, like, I don't want to say explain how to play exactly, but, you know, actually explain the mechanics of work, because boy howdy do I not understand them. Neat. God, I hate these things. So annoying. Also, Tacitus, which I guess is meant to mean silence, but just immediately makes me think of Tacitus, one of my favourite historians. Thank you. Nice.
Defenses crushed. Structure collapsed. Now we look ahead to the next task.
I couldn't agree more. As much as I want to be able to stop and savor this moment, the Vex won't afford us that time.
That is uncommon focus.
In your experience with humanity,
Many humans and their kin are eager to shed the weight of their responsibility through revelry.
some of us bear that weight longer than others, if we're strong enough.
Okay. Go talk to Ikora Bay. We got a whole arseload of triumphs, so I'm going to claim all of those now. That's a little tweet that I will read in just a minute. Okay. Where am I at in terms of... Okay, bridge coming soon. Vex breach has been detected on Europa. Join the fight by reporting to thing. Acquire the Splicer Gauntlet from Mithrax and House of Light. Completing planetary activities, public events and commandants will reward you ether. Open the gauntlet details to spend ether to crack key codes which you need to unlock Vex Conflux. Chess and Override. Conflux chess reward you decrypted data used to purchase upgrades from Splicer. Okay, so same as before. Yes, I know. Override defeat competence with arc weapons. Okay. Let's go talk to Ikora. Ikora Bay. Yesterday. Oops. No, I wanted to. Okay. Like this, especially with us in this helmet. Like, yep, let me just check out my the skull currently attached to my face. God, I'm boiling. Just like by the by, in case anyone wasn't aware. Somehow. I love the best quality, the squeaks. I really, really want the Fallen, the Baby Elixni plushie. I really want one, but I'm going to buy a Bilbo plushie when they come out, so no, I'm not spending money.
It's been some time since you and I have worked together. That's going to change. As internal affairs falls under my purview, you'll be reporting to me for this operation. Mithrax has kept his promise. His splicers worked tirelessly to decode the data you pulled from the Vex network. Zavala and I have every confidence that this was the right decision. Years of hidden operations coming to fruition in our time of need. The Elixni would say, the great machine provides. But if Osiris hadn't suggested we contact Mithrax directly, all our outreach could have been wasted. Guardian, we are all made to believe that loss is how we grow. It took me decades to see that it is not the pain we learn from, but the risk, the chances we take, and the strength to see them through. Here in the city, every new life can begin in peace, without fear, without loss. We need only set aside the past. While you're in the field, I've asked Saint 14 to oversee the Elixni settlement. If we can turn the Kellbreaker into an advocate for House Light, then others will follow. I hope he's feeling generous. Where the darkness seeks to divide us, we need only offer out a hand.
I love you, Ikora. Welcomes you back and tells you she's pleased you'll be working together. Warlock spends that entire speech just with hearts in their eyes. Mithrax and the House of Light Splicers are working tirelessly to decode the data you retrieve from the Vex network. Ikora has ordered Saint 14 to oversee the humanitarian operations in the Elixni Quarter. If we can turn the Kellbreaker into an advocate for House Light, then others will follow, she says. Where the darkness seeks to divide us, we need only offer out a hand.
Good luck. Be well.
Okay, you do. Hi Osiris, how are you doing? Just vibing, huh?
You have unfinished business, Guardian. Go finish it.
That's me told. Oh.
Whatever the darkness brings, we can face it together.
What do you mean? Why? Oh, I see. Cool. That makes more sense. It's less frustrating.
Fascinating. Did not
I've been
anticipate.
saving up money for an Eververse commission for weeks now.
Over here. Oh, and I wanted to read the new law that we got. I'll do that now as well, actually. So pretty. I'm the most qualified for this. Crow's voice reverberated off the immense window, making the Vanguard Commander's office feel even more cavernous than it was. At night, the edges of Zavala's office were usually dark, but the miasma of Vex energy that swelled in the city below made it more so. Crow sighed and paced in the gloom like a caged animal. Zavala faced the window and stood, unmoving, a statue carved of Larimar, depicting a test of infinite patience. He glanced over at Ikora, her hands gently clasped as she watched Crow with its quiet contemplation. We know, she said, after what felt like an eternity, but your expertise and relationship with the Elixni aren't the only deciding factors here. Exactly how long am I going to be continually tried in a court of public opinion? Crow asked pointedly. And when in this trial will I be given a clear understanding of what I'm on trial for? busy reading. Zavala regarded the Awaken's reflection in the window. It reminded him of the near-fatal walk through the gardens not all that long ago. His shoulders sagged. Crow, Zavala said as he turned to him, this is a delicate situation. The consensus has come down hard on us for welcoming the Elixni into the city, and I can't have them using you as another bludgeon. So that's all this is, a political maneuver, Crow pushed. To protect yourselves. No hard feelings? Nothing behind the looks you give me when you don't think I'm watching? Zavala stiffened, and the Crow sensed the conversational temperature in the room change. This matter aside, if your past identity became public before we have a plan in place, it could cause considerable harm to you and the people you care about. Akira said evenly. People who have come to care about you, she added. For a long time, no one spoke, and when Crow did, his voice was small. Then what? I keep hiding from the shadow of the man I was before? Forever? Not forever, Ikora said firmly, but for now. Crow shifted his focus to Ikora and saw the hurt in her eyes. He'd seen it in Amanda's too, whenever she spoke of the dead. Without another word, he nodded and left. Ikora closed her eyes and the breath she'd been holding slowly left her. He's going to Osiris, she warned. And if Osiris is half the leader he showed himself to be, he'll tell him the same thing, Zavala said, with great fatigue, finally sinking into his chair. In the momentary silence that settled between them, Ikora felt an unspoken reciprocation of the generations-old friendship. Hold up my headphone cable. I don't know how long we can protect him, she confessed. Neither do I. Crow. Does Anne yell? One whole yell. I think I'm actually... I do love this, but I love that more, you know? At least for now. Okay, I see. Okay. I see. Let's go. Keep getting distracted. Whoops.
When I requisitioned this transmitter, I was told the helm would be a secure location. I suppose this will have to do. Greetings, Guardian. I'm Lakshmi II of the Future War Cult. I'm here to offer my assistance, because you need it quite badly. The Future War Cult has long used Vex-derived technology to see into the future. I won't bore you with an explanation of mind forking. Suffice to say, we understand its dangers and use the device responsibly. I have glimpsed our future, Guardian. And what I saw was chilling. Skies dark with smoke, shouting, gunfire, and in the center of it all, standing in our city, a group of fallen. The same fallen I saw earlier. Ikora listened to my report, but she chose not to hear it. The Vanguard would rather protect its image than its people.
Actually, she sounds a lot like
I will handle things myself.
every European politician right now.
Change this future. Stop it from happening. While I monitor your progress against the Vex and assist where I am able, I will observe these fallen. if they begin to act against us, well, when I foresaw the Red War, they laughed, until Gaul bound the traveler. This time, I will not whisper my warnings. I will not be polite. I look forward to working with you, Guardian. Together, we can protect our city from all who would wish it harm.
She very much sounds like every European politician ever. Lakshmi Teo, leader of the Future Walkout, tells you that she looked into the future with the FWC's mind-walking machine and saw Mithrax standing in the city amongst gunfire and smoke, maybe because he's helping defend it. She gave a report to Ikora and the rest of the Vanguard, but she feels her warnings were not taken seriously. She tells you she will do whatever she can to stop that future from taking place. When I foresaw the Red War, they laughed, until Gaul bound the traveller, she says. This time, I will not whisper my warnings. I will not be polite.
The last city has always been a place of refuge. For centuries, the vulnerable have found shelter and security under the watchful eye of the traveler. Now, it seems that includes fallen. Once they sieged our walls, and now Ikora Ray throws open the gates. A charitable act from a compassionate leader. But is it the right thing to do? Can we really spare the energy and resources to shelter our enemies while we are under Vex attack? Can we afford to extend a peaceful hand to those who might bite it?
Watch out, you'll get some fallen babies washing up on the shore soon, Lakshmi.
I have foreseen violence and strife within our walls. This is not the first time. I warned you all of Gaul before the Red Legion took our city during the Red War. I am warning you again now. Are these newcomers the cause of our visions? That we do not yet know. What we do know is that the Vanguard owes the people an honest and transparent explanation.
I don't know much about the factions. I think I looked into them at some point and I was like, these all sound kind of shitty. So yeah, but God, that just, it makes me so angry because it is exactly the rhetoric that European politicians have been using for the last, 20 plus years. And as you think, okay, so like in a couple of weeks, what's going to happen is a bunch of little fallen babies are going to wash up on the shores of the city. And everyone's going to be like, oh, look at these sad photos, and then not do anything. This is how I know that a game, in my mind, one of the ways that a game proves it's really good is when it provokes an emotional reaction in me, either making me cry or making me angry, but not at the game, because the game reflects like life so well. It's true though, like I can't. Argle.
I have felt your conflicts with the Vex from here, and your victories. This area is a crossroads. Many threads connect this city to the Vex. They seek to use their simulation to drain the light from this place, bend it to their will, just as you seek to disrupt their network. But while you fight for survival, their motives are unclear. The network connection cannot be broken without destroying your city. Both are bound now, and one must fall for the other to survive. But there is hope. Every Vex you destroy sends ripples across this false dark sky.
Exactly.
I don't know how many must fall to end the simulation they have created, but the data they guard hides the answer. We will study it together. This is my word in the light.
I guess it Yeah. It's... I don't know, I'm not wording this very well, I'm kind of really overheated. But, like... This the idea of, like... isolationism and, I guess, nationalism in a sense, in a time when really don't need it, like... There's a lot in this game that reflects modern events, recent events as in recent, the last couple of years, very well. Like, the last thing we want to do is split off from everyone else. Mithrak shares what he learned by studying the Vex data you brought him. The city is a conflux, a paradromic knot of threads from the Vex network. The Vex are draining the energy from the city, but beyond that, their motives are unclear. There is no way to easily separate the city from the Vex domain. For one to survive, the other must be destroyed. But he sees hope in the future, as your victories against the Vex are visible in the simulated sky. He will continue his studies, upgrade your Splicer gauntlet, and learn how to break the city free once again. Okay. Platforms can be utilised. Raised chests. I'm going to go with this one. That seems the best at the moment, I think. Cool. Wow, there we go. Now we have to defeat powerful Cabal anywhere in the system. Close with cooking, eh? Okay. What am I doing? What am I doing? Looking at my armor, that's what I'm doing. Oh, sorry for the... I can eat all these now. I'm gonna keep my crystalline gloves just because, once defended the city from the fallen, as did many lights no longer with us today. Neither will shelter the House of Light. Could be bitter, but there's something poetic in that. I contain the scars, the sky, the clouds above. His gauntlet sprang to life and the sky moved through him. That looks really nice, but I'm so attached to the robe I'm wearing at the moment, Yes. Yeah, I'm keeping the Christopian stuff because there are quests that require you. It's sort of flickering at me. Later down the line to have them. But aha, right. Overload SMG. Barrier auto rifles, hell yes! Okay. Makes me unbelievably happy. So overload and barrier auto rifles. I'm gonna stick with this and not swap to my auto rifle, but the fact that we can use auto rifles is just great. Right. Read some more. There's a low-flying helicopter, low-flying airplane. Zavala stared at the terminal window until the words blurred together. He lowered his head and rubbed his eyes, trying to collect his thoughts. There were reports from hunters in the field. Increased Vex activity across the system. Coordinated attacks on Vanguard operations. Anomalous disturbances within the city. All on top of Elixian human confrontations within the city's walls. A buzzing hum bloomed to life over Zavala's shoulder, followed by the gentle weight of a ghost that came to settle there. Is this the best use of your time? Targay wondered aloud, which elicited a look from the corner of Zavala's eye. Targay rarely spoke, but when he did, there was always a purpose. I don't recall asking for your opinion, Zavala said as he tried to refocus. I don't recall giving one. Zavala turned this time to give Targay another look. You two can't keep doing the work of 3 people, Targay insisted. Talk to Anna again. Zavala leaned back in his chair. Targay, there is no way I'm going to convince. An alert chimed at the command console to his right. Incoming call from Empress Kyatal, Taj said wearily. Let it go to depot. Zavala suddenly rose from his chair. No, he said, receiving the call. Kyatal's Imperial seal appeared on the screen with a notice. Audio only. Empress Kyatal, to what do I owe the pleasure? Zavala asked, tidily scratching her hand over her stubble. Targay watched for a moment before he disagreed. Dematerialized. I've forgotten how to read. Commander. Kyatal greeted, her voice swelling to fill the room as if she was standing there. The fleet's long-range sensors detected a growing anomaly located in the vicinity of the last city. Why this sudden concern? Kyatal snorted. I bear no concern, Commander, but if the Vanguard were suddenly alienated, it would behoove me to at least be aware. Of course, Zavala said. We're still here. For now. The leading edge in her tone hooked him. Why are you really calling? There was no response from the other side for a few moments. When Kyatal spoke next, her tone was as measured as before and lacked any performative airs. Lakshmi 2's latest broadcast to the city reached our fleet, she said. You are truly a proud hawk standing in a nest of vipers, aren't you? Lakshmi is a politician. Words are the most dangerous of weapons, Commander, Kyatal reminded him. It began as whispering convictions, then full-voiced event, and next thing you know, you wake with this knife driven into your chest. Spoken from experience, Zavala jabbed back. Spoken from experience, Kyatal doubled down, unashamed. Lakshmi is undermining the Vanguard's authority by diminishing your role in the eyes of the people. Spoken loudly enough and often enough, her words may even begin to make sense even to those who are not of the same mind. Zavala sighed, and Kyatal felt its weight all the way across the system. I trust you to honour the terms of our armistice. I do not trust whoever your successor might be, Kyatal warned. Zavala weighed anger and intrigue against one another, finding the scales a useless tool in arbitrating his response to the situation. He stepped back to the council and did just as Cade might say, just wing it. This is not the first threat to my authority I've weathered, Zavala had said, his voice rising. So don't delude yourself into thinking otherwise. And don't you dare come at me for whatever remorse you may be feeling about deposing your father. Zavala heard the low rumble of appreciative vocalization over the speakers. I do not feel remorse because Carlos was my father, Kyatal explained, her tone softening. I feel remorse because of what Gaul did to my people. We opened the door to a hive, handed Shiva our Arthur knife, and were surprised when we felt the kiss of steel in our spine. I hate to see the warrior I admire and respect do the same with a less worthy adversary, but perhaps you are not in need of such unwarranted counsel. Unsolicited counsel. Zavala looked up, out to the lightless city beyond, and closed his eyes. And what counsel is that? What Kyatal said next was not in the voice of an empress, but a friend. Amunarath was my most trusted counsellor. The darkness has many hands. Will you recognize its caress before it finds your throat? Stress noises. Insert disturbed cheese, dismayed blue here. Ara hauled a small metal crate from the dropship towards the haphazard Elixni settlement. He moved slowly, watching the pace of his malnourished workmates. Though he had fasted during the trip, Ara knew his solid frame still made him stand out. He feared it would reveal him as the impostor and infiltrator he was, even while dressed as a House Salvation deserter. During the approach to Earth, Ara had been overawed. The last city looked like a perfect ripple of light from above, dropped from the impassive form of the great machine. Ara wondered for the first time in his life if the spider was wrong about the Guardians. But his misgivings evaporated as soon as he emerged from the dropship. Rather than living in a gleaming city of crystal, the Elixni were packed into the bombed-out ruins of a former war zone. The area they'd been given appeared to be on the verge of collapse. Ara sneered inwardly. Did the Guardians really believe the Elixni could be pacified so cheaply? That they were content to live under the boots of the Vanguard, gnawing at scraps? Perhaps it was true for fools like Misrax, his awoken-raised hatchling, and cowards like the Empty Weaver, but the spider's acquiescence would not be so easily bought. In fact, Ara thought, the spider could probably own the settlement within a year. The generosity and goodwill of House Light would soon crumble to greed and hubris, as they all did. And once Spider's syndicate had a foothold, they would make the Vanguard pay. In glimmer, weapons, ether, and blood. Yes, no, exactly. Like, it's absolutely fair, and it's really stressful. What she's saying, to me at least. Like, I can't, you know, I can't dispute the fact that, you know, I feel words are so difficult. It's good advice, and I wish it wasn't, because it stresses me out that it's good advice, you know? Like, I don't like to hear that. Next weapon, find a blow, spawn to avoid elemental well. Picking up a well grants energy to your ability with the lowest current energy. That's fine, except I don't want void. I don't play void, I'd rather it be another thing. So good. Right. Exactly, yeah. Sorry, I'm not ignoring stream, I'm looking at my phone to see chat. I feel like that's the direction that their relationship is going in, almost, where it's like they are very much equals in terms of like responsibility and their position within their respective factions. So I feel that. Right. I do want to do that, but first, override missions and deposit data spikes as a team, collect ether, defeat opponents with sidearms. I want to finish out my bounties, so we are going to run a couple more overrides. In fact, I'm going to run 3 more overrides, or 2 more, to finish off the weekly challenge. I still need to pay today. Do that immediately after stream, otherwise I will forget. Both the last season and this season already are like stressing me out, but in a good way. Stressing me out in the sense that I'm really invested. I think this is the first time that, so I started playing Destiny early 2020, but I first started playing regularly in Season of Arrivals, so I haven't gone through the like seasonal story shift in the same way, I guess is the way to put it. So I'm stressed, but in a good way. And it also seems like it's not like we're telling 3 disparate stories. It's like we are telling 3 disparate stories. You know what I mean? We're telling a bunch of disparate stories. We're
an entrance to the Vex network. I can guide you, but I cannot follow.
I recognise this. Oh, I've got lost up on that so many times. Oh, nice. I'm glad that the mechanics of this are basically Gambit. I'm down with that.
Mithrax has located a back door to the Vex domain. Get your foot in that door and secure the data.
Nice. Ah! Don't stop it. Someone else is going to have to take this guy out because I do not have anti-barrier.
Let's know hacked. They're on their way to anti-hack you. Defend the terminal.
On their way to anti-hack you.
Layer of security. Escalate access by overriding the passcode.
Please just let me deposit the notes.
The Vex manifest in spirals. Every revolution ascends into the future. Stay your course. Crack open the Vex and bring back their data. Do not worry yourself over what they will no better.
Okay. Ah.
The Splicer tech must work, because the Vex are converging to shut it down.
Okay, I've got my super in me as well, you know.
They're trying to fix their broken code. Deal with the Vex, but keep one eye on the terminal.
Don't understand. I'm going to please deal with it because I don't know what you're doing.
Cycles. Each circuit grows more desperate. We need one more batch of data. Then you can jump into the Vex brain space.
Nice. Don't understand if there's like a specific order we're meant to be shooting this in or what, but I'll spend my time.
The splice is complete. Enter quickly.
It's just sucked in without my Vex with precision shots. Let's see how that goes. Fuck. Shit. Idiot. Void and swords. Okay. Let's not die like an idiot this time around. Oh. Will McFucking do. There I am. So well. I love this music too. I'm sure I've said this like 1,000 times, but I really do. Well, at least you got the healing puddle.
I don't know if I ever told you, Ikora, but I'm proud of the leader you become. It's just a shame you failed to heed more conventional wisdom.
Such as?
Cauterize all contact with the darkness, lest you risk infestation.
Just because you can't see the shears, Osiris, doesn't mean I'm not pruning dead branches.
He's staring at Ikora like, oh, God, my favorite. Do one more. I like this like sidebar thing. I wanted to return from the war. Okay. One more. Except I don't have enough ether. It's annoying, but hey, c'est la vie. And then we're gonna go get started on armor synthesis, I think. Yeah. That sounds like a plan to me. After that, go sit and gambit for a bit, maybe. We'll see. I'm going to do one more of these, then I'm going to do armor synthesis, get that unlocked, and then I will see A, how tired I am, B, how warm I am, and how...
It's a long-time goal of the future war cult. Breach it for us. And for humanity.
What if I don't want to breach it for you? What if I want to breach it for me? Nice. Deposit.
Destroyed Vex fuel a ripe source of data. Feed it into the terminal to crash the system.
So the thing that I need to get is I hate seeing moves go. Precision kills on Vex, which I will do in my own time, probably. I need to be an overload champion for once in my life. Nice.
Vex know you've hacked them. They're on their way to anti-hack you. Defend the terminal.
Nice.
Layer of security. Escalate access by overriding the passcode.
I really and overwhelmingly do not know what I'm doing
Prepare for
there.
another assault. The Vex will endure as many casualties as necessary to keep the vortex closed. Vex defenses have been reset, but like circuits, they can be overloaded. Continue the assault.
Okay. Ah. No, it's a barrier. Shit, I can't do anything about that. says hello. Oh, okay. Wasted that.
The Rex disconnect the terminal, but they must retake it to end the incursion. Do not allow it. Do not let the machine spawn divert your attention. Keep it fixed on the terminal. I can practically hear the Vex gears
Yeah.
grinding. They cannot
Yes.
stop, but they will still try. The network bends to your will. It
Pardon
cannot
me.
resist for much longer.
Ow. I'm really done with my blade and sword, and my super's just come back up, which is extremely nice. I'm sure you get more for hosting lots of datas at the same time, but concept, I'm a coward. Actually, better like this.
Countermeasures incoming. Turn them back to scrap. So much fun, right? I've got super, so I may as well use it, huh? Meatbreak said the vortex is almost ready. I don't know what that means, but the Vex want to stop you, so it must be good.
Glad to see the two of them working together. Fostering good relationships. No.
These vortex could lead anywhere. Be careful, Guardian. You are beyond our reach now, Guardian.
Sword and precision vex
When
kills.
it's ready for traps. This may yet be a ploy by the Fallen.
Stupid. Rip. Not intentional. That's better.
Crush their last defense to complete the splice. We have other networks to collapse.
There we go. Even though I know, like, even though the rough mechanics of this are very similar to Battlegrounds, it's still enjoyable, you know? Pardon me, I'm having fun. know what I died of, other than like death. I want to finish off my sword kills. Although maybe not those guys, probably. I guess Takutas is meant to be silence. I think that's the word.
Excellent work.
Do I have enough?
The Guardian's performance has provided me with a wealth of information.
Still plotting on?
Pardon?
You were always trying to look 10 steps ahead. I suppose that's why you and the speaker used to butt heads.
Ah, yes. Well, forewarned is forearmed.
My
I
knowledge
don't
is
need to
back.
tell you
It
that,
lives.
I learned from the best.
Okay, well, I can get those two done in my own time. Let's go noosh around because it's really pretty in here. Ah, I wanted to try and climb on the thing. Oh well. What? Oh, that's so cute. KRG, cast an Argary, etc. Great. That got us one thingy done. Didn't count for a weekly players challenge for some reason. Okay. Unless I need to go like pick up my reward. Oh well. Let's go here. And oh, whoops! I wanted to go here actually because I've got things to pick up. And let's see, sword and precision damage. So these. Swap this over. This is pretty. He heard something and snapped awake. There it was again, the skittering of clawed feet above him. In a moment he grabbed the pulse rifle from near the door and was outside. He saw nothing but the lip of the tar paper reef against the undulating night sky. I'll read the rest of that later. Is there anything I can hand in here? I've completely forgotten. It's been a while since I went collectible hunting. Darkness energy radiates from Kel's rising, and that can only mean one thing: stasis. The journey to unlock the remaining secrets of stasis continues.
Say don't use the darkness out loud, especially after you witness those procurements pulling entire planets out of existence. Hard to believe anyone thinks they can control that kind of power. Must take a special kind of confidence.
Who is speaking? Right. No. We're going to go here first. And pick up some bounties because we need to. And I'm going to try and get this armor thing done. We'll see. I'm kind of beginning to reach my heat limit, as it were. So, we'll see. Precision vinyl blows and then go defeat guardians. Sigh. Okay, hi Varix.
We must talk.
Defeat. Fallen. Defeat Vex. Staring Abyss. I'll do most of those later, but these are things that I can do in my while I'm doing this, I think. Yeah, I'm beginning to reach my heat limit, but I really want to at least make a start on this story, so. Hi, Elixni. I say some of your compatriots, but then I was like, no, these guys are House Salvation, so literally some of your enemies are hanging out in Color City right now. I love the Servitor Blues. Servitor really did say blue. Let's get out of here. I have to introduce the Braze to Ada.
Look for a terminal with elevated access protocols. There might be one in the nearby offices. I'm receiving data now. Oh, this is incredible work and well annotated. So that's how they solved for diatomic partitioning, and the macrofusion blending is just... Apologies. It's just exciting to see the final pieces in front of me. There's a component listed here, some sort of processing unit to calculate the threading algorithms. Looks proprietary. See if your ghost can scan for it based on these parameters. I doubt we'll be able to recreate another one, and none of this will work without it.
Do you think it's this suspiciously glowing thing over here?
Yes, that's it. Meet me back in the armory hall and we'll see what this puzzle looks like when finished.
Nice. It's good if you'd snore. Well, it's difficult. Let's fuck about on, oh my goodness. Oh, it's the sword that I've wanted for so long. Ever since I saw this in collection, I absolutely fell in love. God. Primary speed and damage. Whoa. Swapping straight over to that. So beautiful. Ooh, ooh, that's nice. Okay, right. Isn't that the best? Yeah, ever since I saw this in it's Void, knowing hunger is, and gonna go keep fucking around on Europa for a bit. Specifically going to niche over to the Asterion Abyss because I'll kill many birds with one stone over there. But yeah, ever since I saw that in collections, I fell in love with it, and then I never dropped. I got, of the swords, I never got that one. So happy. Well, it's not showing up because I've not got any ammo, but I know that it's there. Like, I don't even care if the rolls are good or what. I care about is that it's there and it's pretty. Where the shit am I going? Not that way. Fuck, well. It's not what I intended to do, but there we go. Wanted to. Over here.
I'm getting a read on Vex activity in the area. Let's go see if stasis can stop them in their tracks.
Have fun, my dude. I'm out here. Places to go. Places to go. Just thinking, I'm really, really intrigued to see where the story is going. Right. Turn over here so that I can kill you with oops. I'm gonna go find some bees. Well, some Vex, but you know, close enough. So creepy. Rip. Nice. Good hits, my dude. Thanks on the ice. I guess this guy is also doing the same thing. Should like move. precision damage. Pretty close is the answer. Wait, over here. Okay, level up to us. Okay. Few more precision damages. There we go.
Guardian, do you see that crux of darkness? Because the Fallen certainly have. Go turn those bricks into scraps.
This is what I'm doing. Slide on. Combat. And cannon. Choose. Grenade launchers. Oh, cube. Right, what do I need? I need to kill 3 more Fallen. And also just go fuck around here. So, there we go. 1, 2, 3. Should I have wasted my super? No. Does it help me move quicker? Yes. Do I want to heroic this? I can't remember too, so never mind. Mutual destruction. Right. Let's go. say hello to Ada. Defeat champions can override. I'm really intrigued by this. Achilles weaves a cocoon lore. Okay. I see. Hey buddies, how you hanging? Gosh, it's so pretty. I could have given this a different, I nearly said glamour, shader to better match the outfit, but I really like the like blue whoops, completely the wrong way because I'm on autopilot. The like gradient tone. That's what I'm going to do with my hair at some point. Dye this bit dark blue, or dark green. Re-dye this so that it's more turquoise than like extremely pale green. Good, Ada says as she types feverishly on her workstation. I used the data you streamed from Europa to make some final adjustments to the device. The original plans from Clovis are out of reach. Whatever he wanted to make from this, it requires theoretical alloys that don't exist. Given what you know about him now, maybe it's best that vision never comes to fruition. In any case, I was able to use some concepts from the original forged designs to finish the prototype. It's my own design now. She steps back from the workstation. The processing unit is the final piece. You retrieved it. It's only fair that you get to close this out.
The Black Armory awaits your return. Incredible. I felt confident in my interpretation of their schematics, but to see it actually working is something else entirely. When I used to think about the armory, about my responsibility to it, the weight was almost unbearable. Even in this body, I felt like I could never get enough air. Now, for the first time in a long while, I feel relieved and eager. The synthweave produced by this prototype won't provide combat effectiveness, but I will continue to explore possible applications. Perhaps Ikora could use it for disguising her hidden. With more tensile strength, it could reduce maintenance time on red jacks. I don't know what discoveries lie ahead, but I'm eager to find them.
I'm glad. I always liked Ada, I have to say.
Guardian, I can't express what this means to me. Now, shall we give it a try?
Even like before with the Black Armory and stuff. She thanks you for your help and expresses excitement about the future. Ada's mechanical fingers clack away at the glass touchscreen. Initial readouts look promising. Power levels are stable and the operating system hasn't hit any assertions. She says the words carefully and meticulously, like they don't fit well around her voice yet. As far as I can tell, the loom is ready for production. Let me give it a test run and see what we get, and if it passes quality checks, I'll explain the process. The first printing, Ada says tenuously. This is simply a programmable matter more sophisticated than I've ever seen, significantly more advanced than Glimmer. She hands you a sample of the loom's output. Do the honours of trying it out. Should be able to replicate the physical appearance of some of your armour, though not the material or in energy properties. Use synthweave to create an ornament from your collection of legendary armour. Okay, so okay. Ooh, I do like the dragons.
Why should I fear stasis? I've seen the light used by warlords and guardians alike, for evil and good. A new tool doesn't change the wielder.
This one. Very important.
How can I help?
The loom requires material input to function. Strands of basic matter that can be repurposed as needed, it explains. I've used the Braytech schematics to create smaller devices called threaders. With these you can convert the strands into synth cord that the loom needs. We should verify that the thread is functioning as well. She hands you a spool of synth strand. Take these strands and let's put them through the whole pipeline. Obtain a random gambit.
See you next time, perhaps.
Send and defeat blockers. Okay.
I am continuously fascinated by the choices you Guardians make when molding your synth weave. Such garishness.
Rude but fair. Okay folks, well I do need to go into Gambit, but I have about reached my level of functioning in warmth, and also I do have an assignment to finish. So I am going to end stream off there. I am going to say thank you very much for watching. It is very, very much appreciated, and I do hope that you enjoyed. I will be streaming Final Fantasy XIV this Tuesday. We'll be trying to get my ult, Ashard, all caught up in the MSQ before 5.5 drops. 5.55 is the week after next, so trying to get Ashard as caught up as possible. I want to get him completely caught up, at least before Endwalker. So, of course, thank you for coming along, Polyhex. Thank you for always coming along as well. I appreciate it a lot. Thursday will be Higurashi When They Cry, Yoigoshi, where we are going to find out who exactly is behind it all and what exactly is going on in this here ghost town we found ourselves in. Next Saturday will be Neo Replicant, where I'm pretty certain we're near the end of part 1. I'm not 100% certain, but we are going to go and try and find this guy's wife. I've done all the side quests I can do in part 1, and I've got all the swords I can so far, so we're on the story now. And then next Sunday will be Destiny 2, where we'll be continuing fucking around in Season of the Splicer. So take care, have a wonderful evening, do look after yourselves and be excellent to each other. Thank you very much for coming along, and I shall see you guys on Tuesday.